Good afternoon, class. As I informed you yesterday, I am gone today, so I decided to make this little video to help you today. So we will continue learning with our addition and subtraction facts and how they correlate with each other. So we'll begin today like we do every day with a little vocab review. So make sure you get out your vocab notebooks and you follow along. The first part of today's review is going to be a bit of a vocab review. So a vocab term we're reviewing today, the first one is inverse operations. So remember, from your vocab notebook, inverse operations are opposite operations that undo each other. So addition and subtraction are inverse operations, and then multiplication and division are inverse operations. Class, our next vocab word is commutative property of addition, which the commutative property states that order does not matter. So 1 plus 2 is the same or equals 2 plus 1. The order of how the numbers are put in the equation does not matter. So today, class, for the first part of the lesson, we'll be going over fact families. Fact families are families that consist of 3 numbers. Fact families can only have 3 numbers. These 3 numbers are used with various operations such as multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction to create equations. 2 of the numbers from the fact family through either addition, subtraction, multiplication, division always equal the third. So an example of a fact family would be 3, 5, and 2. They're part of a fact family because there's only 3 of the numbers, and through the use of operations, 2 of the numbers equal the third. So for this operation, we'll use addition. So we know that 3 plus 2 equals 5. We did this in our review. And then we have 2 plus 3, which also equals 5. And so an important thing to note with fact family is that there's always 4 equations in the fact family. So we have our first 2, so we need to find numbers 3 and numbers 4. So when we're doing fact families, we use inverse operations. So we use addition, so the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. So we take what it equals, 5 minus, do the 2 first, 2 equals. If you're not sure about what it is, we can also, to solve the subtraction problem, use inverse operation and use addition. So 2 plus 1 equals 5, which would be 3. So now for our fourth operation, we know it's another subtraction, and it's 5 minus something. And since we already used a 2, we know we need to use the other number in the fact family, 3, which equals, you can look up here and see that 3 plus 2 equals 5. So there is the fourth equation of this fact family. So today during the independent work, you'll see our fact family numbers a little differently. Instead of the group of 3 numbers, you'll see them in a triangle. So we're going to use the same numbers that we did earlier, the 3, 5, and 2. They'll be in a triangle. So at each point of the triangle will be a different number on the inside. So we have our 3, 5, and our 2. Remember that each fact family has 4 total equations. So remember, from our 3, 5, and 2, one equation is going to be addition. So we know that 3 plus 2 equals 5. We know we're not using multiplication for this fact family because 2 times 3 equals 6. So once we have our 3 plus 2 equals 5, next we have to find our second operation. So we know that through the commutative property of addition, it states that the order does not matter. So that means we can put the 2 first. 2 plus 3 equals 5. And so, thus we have our second equation. So now we need our third and fourth. Well, the 2 we haven't used are the inverse operations of addition. We know the inverse operation of addition is subtraction, so we need to use subtraction. Remember, the big number comes first. So we'll put the 5 here, minus, choose 3 because that's in another point. So 5 minus 3, 5 minus 3. What plus 3 equals 5? We can look right up here and we know that 2 plus 3 equals 5. So then we know that 5 minus 3 equals 2. So we do our fourth equation. And so we know we have to start with a big number, so 5 minus, well, we already used the 3, so it's time to use the 2 now. So 5 minus 2. Well, what plus 2 equals 5? look up and see, we can either think it like that or say, oh, the only number in the family is 3. We always want to double check our math though and think 3 plus 2 equals 5. So there, for that fact family, would be our 4 equations. 3 plus 2 equals 5, 2 plus 3 equals 5, 5 minus 3 equals 2, and 5 minus 2 equals 3. And so you might think, well, why can't we do 5 plus 2, which we know equals 7, which is a correct operation, it's the correct way to do it. But do we see the 7 in our group of 3 numbers or in a fact family? No, we don't. That would be because 7 belongs to a different fact family. So the fact family of 7 would be 5, 2, and 7 instead of 3, 5, and 2. So by doing that, we've created a whole other fact family. Let's look at another example. So our 3 numbers are going to be 9, 2, and 11. So we'll put those in our triangle. There we have our 9, our 2, and our 11 in our family. So let's figure out if we're doing addition in our fact family, our first fact. So are we multiplying? 2 times 11. Well, 2 times 11 would be 11 2 times. Look at 11 2 times. That's 11 plus 11, which is 22. So we can't be 22 because we know that it needs to be 9. Okay, so is it 11 plus 2? See, 11 plus 2. No, 11 plus 2 is 13. Okay, let's try something different. Is it 9 plus 2? 9 plus 2 is 11, so our first one would be 9 plus 2 equals 11. So, through the commutative property, we know that 2 plus 9 also equals 11 because the order does not matter. Okay, now we're on to our third, which is subtraction. So we take the bigger number minus, we'll go 2, because that's also in our fact family. So 11 minus 2. Well, what's 2 plus something that equals 11? 2 plus 9 equals 11, as I see from up here. So I know that 11 minus 2 equals 9. Now on the fourth one, we also have 11 minus, we already did 2, so we need to do 9. So 11 minus 9, what plus 9 equals 11? 2. So 11 minus 9 equals 2. That is it for my part of the lesson. The sub is going to put up some numbers on the board, and you're going to use those 3 numbers to make a fact family. I suggest using the triangle. The sub will come around and check them, and then you will move on to your independent work. And as always, if you have any questions for me, you can write them down on a piece of paper and slip them in the question box, and I will answer them when I am back tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.